What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR365. What is going on? What is the latest, bro? I should probably turn down this trailer a little bit. Volume is on the loud side. Actually, you know what? My volume is on the low side because I had my volume way too high in my system volume. Okay, so what is going on, guys? Welcome to VR365. You might be wondering, what the hell is VR365? VR365 is basically daily VR gaming news and discussion 365 odd days a year. Yeah, basically, if you listen to F Reality on Saturday, and if you listen to VR Roundtable on Sunday when it happens, and you think to yourself, damn, I really wish there was a podcast type thing that I could listen to every single day of the frickin' week. If that's what you're all about, baby, you have discovered your new channel. That's what VR365 is all about. We get into daily VR gaming news and discussion. We also cover AR. Sometimes I will review stuff. Sometimes I will go on crazy rants, and sometimes I will freaking go nuts on air, like live. Like this is happening live right now. Like I could say something incredibly inappropriate right now. I could take my pants off and run over there and just run around in a circle. Anything could possibly happen. This is live, ladies and gentlebots. Can you believe this? This is live. There is no safety net. Nothing is protecting me. And I have to try to entertain the peoples for 40 plus something minutes. I mean, lately we've been going like an hour and 10 minutes every single time. That's probably a little bit too much, I got to admit. Probably go a little bit too long. But yeah, so today we are on Monday. It is April 8th. I'm starting to get a bit nervous, guys. I got to tell you, I have not done my taxes. I haven't even started on my taxes. And I'm a little bit nervous because it's April 8th. I haven't done diddly about my taxes, okay? So that's kind of scary because most of you guys have probably long done your taxes. You probably already got your rebates by now or whatever. I don't know. You've probably already spent your tax refunds. And I haven't done no taxes. Like, how crazy is that? I gotta take a sip of water for this. But yeah, I've done no taxes. The other thing that's kind of weird too is I'm doing this show right now. Okay, so it's 4:06 p.m. We are on the West Coast, the left coast, right coast? I guess it would be, if I'm looking at the USA, yeah, it would be left. The left coast, the West Coast. I'm here in Sacramento, California. For the geographically challenged, we are actually the capital city of the state of California, which, let's face it, California could be its own empire, and it probably should be its own empire. It really should. The Republic of California. You know, you talk about building a wall. How about we build a wall around California? And how about we keep all of California's money in California? Imagine that. Yeah, California, we generate so much effing money for the entire United States, and very little of it comes back to us. And we're here in California. I mean, look, we got Hollywood. I mean, we got Silicon Valley. I mean, think of all the companies that are located here, all of the tech companies that are located here. Okay, Valve, maybe Valve isn't located here. Maybe freaking Nintendo isn't located here. But everybody else is. Everybody else is. And we generate a lot of company. We generate a lot of money here in California. And what if the money were just to stay here? If the money were to stay here, our roads and streets would be paved with gold. We would all be driving Ferraris because all of our money would be here, and we'd be rich. We'd be kings because California rules the world. Yeah, this is Gladius. This is Gladius that is on the screen right here. But no, actually what I was going to, I went on that whole diatribe and I didn't even explain what I'm talking about here. I'm hot. It's warm, man. It's freaking warm in this room. It is hot in this room. And that's something I didn't think about. I mean, we're here in early April and I'm already getting hot. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Because I can tell you back in the summers, this room is always hotter than the rest of my house. This is actually a garage. This is a garage. And it's hotter. It's like 10 degrees hotter than the rest of my house. And when it's cold, it's 10 degrees colder. And I don't know what the hell I'm going to do in the summer because I have to have these bright ass lights. There's a bright light right there. There's a bright light right there. I have to have these bright lights shining on me or you won't even see me. And I would get a fan, but it would create a lot of noise. I need to find like a whisper fan because it's going to be a major problem, folks. It's going to be a major problem. So anyway, we're about 5-6 minutes into the show and I haven't even started. And we need to go ahead and thank our sponsor. First, let's go ahead and thank our sponsor. And today's episode was provided for us by John. Jon. Yes, John is the sponsor of our show today. So John's all around America, all around the UK, maybe even mainland Europe. If you don't have an H in your name, you are basically the sponsor of this show, kind of. Well, basically, I have a Patreon supporter by the name of John, Jon, and I don't have a last name to use with this. So thank you so much, John, for your patronage, but for your Patreon support is basically what I'm talking about here. Thank you so much, John. Your contribution has allowed this show to exist, and that is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So much love to John. Appreciate that in a major, major way. I got to get back to thanking all of the Patreon people. Dude, I've got Patreon people that have joined my Patreon like months ago, and they haven't been thanked yet. And here I am thanking these PayPal people, these Johnny-come-latelys, these PayPal people that just came out of the woodwork recently, and I'm thanking them. And there's these Patreon supporters that have been supporting me for maybe like 2 or 3 months already, and I haven't even got around to thanking them. Like, what kind of shit is that? That is terrible. That is wrong. That is hella rude. That is unfortunate. But yeah, John is our sponsor for today. Thank you so much, John. Absolutely appreciate your support. It's incredible because I can tell you guys, Patreon money, PayPal money, all the money that starts with P's, it is going to Valve Index. It is going to Oculus Quest. It's going to Oculus Rift. It's going to HP Reverb and all that stuff. And without your support, none of that would ever happen. And none of it may happen if I don't get more support. I got maybe enough support to buy a Quest, so I'm pretty much good on the Quest side. But it's all about the other headsets. Will we get up there? I don't know. But you know what? Speaking of the Oculus Quest, one of the things that we've been doing a little bit recently now, every once in a while, we do something I like to call Question of the Day. And I have a question of the day for you guys here on this glorious Monday. What is the question of the day, folks? It is Oculus Quest related. And here it is. Here's the question. A lot of us are planning on buying an Oculus Quest as soon as it's made available, which is probably April 30th, May 1st, probably at F8, is probably when the Oculus Quest is going to arrive. And my question is, should Oculus how are they going to handle account sharing? Okay, account sharing, or basically, in other words, how are they going to handle you sharing your Oculus Quest with the rest of your family? Okay, can you share your Oculus Quest with the rest of your family? Or are you going to be screwed where you got to buy a Quest for every person in your family? And when it comes to the Oculus Go, you're kind of screwed because now some of the games will give you multiple save spots. And so if you give your Quest, if you put your Oculus Go on somebody else and you're like, yeah, check out this game, Drop Dead or whatever, you don't want them ruining your saved game just so you can demo your Quest to them. But right now in the Oculus Go, if you don't actually give, if you don't give us like multiple save slots, then people are going to be like ruining your saved games. Like, what is the deal with that, man? We need to come to some kind of understanding with that. And sometimes you could be in a situation where you could have multiple accounts, like, a Nintendo 3DS, PlayStation Vita, all of these different systems. You wonder, if you have like a couple of young kids in your family, can they both share it? Or is one of them going to be crying about it because I can't get my own games on there? It's all of his games and it's saved at his save spot. Why can't I play my own Robo Recall, mommy? What is going to happen here? So that is the question of the day. And honestly, I can see both sides of the coin. I can see why somebody like Oculus or whoever it may be would want you to not be able to put other people's accounts on there so that they could have their own settings saved and, they could have their own home screen or whatever and their own saved games and all of that, because they want you to buy multiple of these things. They don't want you to buy one of them and to share it with a family of 9 people. They want you to buy 9 different quests. I understand that. However, my suggestion to the powers that be at Oculus, they've probably already long decided this and it's probably locked in stone at this point in time, but my suggestion would be, don't do it. Not right now, bro. Not right now, bro. That is not right now, bro. Those are 4 words. Not right now, bro. And you can always do that later. You can always implement that later. But VR, right now, we're in the evangelism stage of VR. We need to make VR as open and accommodating to as many people as humanly possible. We are not in the mode of juice your consumers to the 12th degree. No, we're not. We shouldn't be in that mode. We should be in the mode of, welcome everybody, come to our beautiful place. You're all welcome. Come on in. The water is fine. Dip your toes in the water. Oh yeah, there's multiple accounts on your Quest. You've got 7 kids in your family? Go right ahead. Have 7 little accounts that exist on your Quest, each with your own saved games, each with your own custom home screen or whatever. Make it accommodating in the early days. Then once VR has absolutely established a mainstream level, then juice the living crap out of us. But don't juice the living crap out of us right now, because we're still kind of struggling, I think. So don't juice the living crap out of us right now. That's my opinion. But my question for you is, do you think you're going to be able to share your Oculus Quest with multiple people in your household? And, what do you think the true reality is? What do you think the reality should be? Basically, any thoughts that you have related to that. That is our question of the day. Okay, let's go ahead and get into our next story here. And let me go ahead and grab a trailer if I can for this next story. Now, normally I would have all the trailers that I want to use lined up, ready to go. But I don't have them right now. Oh, wait, here it is. I don't have them lined up, so I have to search for them. But here is a trailer that is in the mix today, because this is Falcon Age. And for those that don't know, this game will be available tomorrow on PlayStation VR. Now, I'm not sure about the price. I think it's $19.99, but don't quote me on that, because I don't believe, when you're searching for stuff like Falcon Age, for example, like if I go over here to our webinar browser, let's get on our webinar browser. Let me find Falcon Age. Okay, so if we go over here to our Webby browser, here is Falcon Age. This is the PlayStation 4 page for Falcon Age. And the thing that kind of sucks about PlayStation is a lot of times you don't get the store page until the freaking day the game is available. And the store page should be there now. I should be able to know what the price of this game is right now. I think it's $19.99, but don't quote me on that. I think it's $20, but don't quote me on that. That is Falcon Age. It hits PlayStation VR tomorrow. There's a lot of people that are kind of excited for Falcon Age. And one of the things I'll say about Falcon Age is today I listened to the F Reality podcast. That's kind of like my Monday thing now. Now that I'm back at work, I'm back at my cubicle and I'm doing work and it's boring as hell. But the beautiful thing is there's something called podcasts. And I'm able to listen to podcasts as I do my work during the day. And I gotta say, if I didn't have that, I would be clinically insane. And luckily, I do have podcasts, so I'm not clinically insane. And today on Monday, that's when I listen to the F Reality podcast. I know a lot of people saw it on Saturday. I don't watch it. I save it. I save it because I'm going to need that shit. I'm going to need that shit on Monday when I go back to work. And the reason I'm bringing up F Reality is they talked about Falcon Age on the most recent episode of F Reality, and two of the members of F Reality played Falcon Age at PAX. Nathy and is it Nims or Nim or Nims? I might be getting that wrong, but Nathy and Nims or Matt, damn it! Now I need to go look up F Reality and see what the name of these people are. Hold on, sorry folks, I screwed up. I know Nathy. I know one of the names. Yeah, Nathy. Is it Zims or Nims? God, I can't believe I got the name wrong. Oh, this sucks. Okay, let's see. F Reality Podcast. F Reality Podcast. Okay, yeah, so let's go. We'll go here to the YouTube page for F Reality Podcast. They have the names of the people on here. Let's see. This was, no, that was like last week. Show more. Damn it, I can't find it. But it's either Nims or Zims. Damn, I'm going to get a ton of hate by not having this name. My bad. But basically, okay, Zim Talk, Zim. Okay, so I think it's Zim. I think it's basically Zim, right? He's a funny guy. I like F Reality. You know, I wasn't listening, like I was not following F Reality. See, these are the guys. This guy right here. That guy. Zim. Okay, Zim Talk, something like that. Yeah, that guy and Nathy, they both liked Falcon Age in a major way. So, Falcon Age, a lot of people might kind of be slipping on Falcon Age, but that is going to be available tomorrow. Now, I do know Falcon Age is coming to other platforms, but we have no idea when. So I believe it is a timed exclusive, and we have no idea when this is coming to other platforms, but eventually it will hit PC VR platforms as well. Okay, so let me see here. I need to have my chat popped over in the right spot, which is over here, and let's see what some people are talking about real quick before I move on. Okay, let's get this situated. Okay, let's see here, and let's see. Okay, not sure if VR was available. Okay. Anyway, Controller Brain is saying, not sure I care if VR was available to every single man and dog. As long as it's as thriving as high-end PC gaming, that's cool. Controller Brain, I beg to differ. You should care that VR is available to every single man and his dog and his cat and his pet falcon. Because how else are we going to get Grand Theft Auto 6, 5, 6, whatever? How are we going to get Grand Theft Auto 6 in VR if VR doesn't go mainstream? PC gaming, like just being a PC gaming thing, that is not mainstream enough. Okay, Kev Gretz says Falcon Age is $20. It's $19.99. And Christopher Hart says, yeah, it might be $19.99. I was thinking of getting it after seeing some gameplay. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are like, what is Falcon Age anyway? Like what do you do in Falcon Age? A lot of people were wondering that, because is it just purely like you raise a little baby bird, and it's like, oh, a cute little adorable bird, and you get to do a fist bump with your bird, and you get to pull things out of his feathers, and you get to pet him and massage him? Or is there something more than that? And I think there is more than that. I mean, obviously, we're seeing some menacing robots here. It does look like you get to pull out a hypodermic needle right out of the side of them. So apparently there's a lot of druggies and tweakers all over the world of Falcon Age. And one of them took their hypodermic needle and just said, boom, and stuck it right in the side of your baby falcon. That is not cool. So you do have a beautiful baby Falcon. It does look pretty adorable, but is the gameplay going to be there? That's the question. I did not get an advanced key for Falcon Age, so unfortunately you're not going to have my thoughts on this game tomorrow, but you will. You will have my thoughts on Vacation Simulator tomorrow. And my recommendation, wait for my thoughts. Wait for my thoughts on Vacation Simulator is my recommendation. I can't say anything about it until tomorrow. So it is embargo, but I will definitely be talking about Vacation Simulator tomorrow. This one, I'm not sure. I'm kind of in the dark like you guys. Looks kind of interesting, looks kind of cool. Looks to be one of the bigger games of the month of April. So I like the graphical look, and the style of it looks pretty cool. So it might be a cool game, but it's only $20, so it's probably relatively short. But I think I heard somebody say it was like 5 hours or something, which that's not short. So I don't know, the $20 price is kind of weird. But anyway, yeah, that is Falcon Age. So I've heard some good things about that, and that is going to be happening on tomorrow. Okay, what is the next little topic I wanted to get into? Well, you know what? We were talking about podcasts, and what I wanted to mention here is I heard another podcast today. This was after F Reality, and the podcast is called Virtual Strangers. Virtual Strangers. Now, I've talked about this podcast before, and, I heard the first episode of it, and I thought it was pretty good. Their second episode is even better. They've only got 67 subscribers. Come on, bros. We can get this up to 100. Before this show is over, we might be able to get this up to 100, right? But you know what? I heard this episode today. It's only been out for 14 hours. And I saw that it was posted on, I believe, the Oculus subreddit. And I was like, oh, cool. I had finished my F Reality podcast. That was all done. I was looking for another podcast, and bam, Virtual Strangers was there, and it delivered 2 hours and 20 minutes. They talked about all kinds of games. They talked about a lot of news. They even talked about Falcon Age a little bit on their show, and a lot of interesting discussion there. So I'm really liking Virtual Strangers. I'm glad that this podcast exists. So you guys might want to check it out. They're doing it basically once a week. And they're brand new. They've just kind of started it. They're just kind of brand new and stuff. So it's going to take them a while to get into a flow of things and kind of get used to it and get used to everybody else. They're all strangers. They mentioned that on their show today, that they are all strangers. And it's going to take a while for them to get used to everybody else's style and whether or not you can talk a bunch of smack to another guy and he's got a thick enough skin, or whether you shouldn't do that. It's kind of a feeling out process. So that's kind of what they're going through over there. But we may have found another great podcast to work with that you can add to F Reality and VR Roundtable and now Virtual Strangers. And I'm always on the lookout for another good podcast, especially now that I am back at my job and I have to do actual work and shit, and I need podcasts to listen to. So I did listen to the second episode of that. Really liked it. That was great. Awesome. Okay, now what are we going to get into? Okay, so our first story of the day is the only story of the day that I have prepared, so I'm going to have to wing it from here. But our first story of the day is Sony, and apparently Sony has a brand new patent for something that probably doesn't make a ton of sense. But let's go ahead and look at it anyway and figure out what the heck is going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our Webby browser, and this story is available on Upload VR, but I got to imagine a lot of other places are covering it as well. Look at this artistic design. Okay, wait a minute. Who drew this person's face? Is that a woman? Is that a man? What is going on here? So not the best artist over there at Sony that's doing their patent drawings, but I guess the important part is all of this stuff, right? I guess this is all of the important stuff. So here's what Sony has recently patented. They have patented basically eyeglasses that have built-in eye tracking. Yeah, you heard me right. Eyeglasses that have built-in eye tracking. And you probably said the exact same thing that I said, which is like, what? Why? Why would they do that? Why not just put the eye tracking inside the actual VR headset itself? Like, what's the purpose of having eyeglasses that would include eye tracking? And so that was my first thought when I heard, when I saw this and I heard about it. Of course, I read the story, and they have a couple of opinions on what they think it might be. And they say right here, the question is, why would these glasses include an eye tracking sensor and not the headset itself? Why doesn't the headset include eye tracking sensors? And they have a couple of reasons. Okay, number one, these glasses could possibly be used in tandem with our current PSVR headset. And they can't put eye tracking into our current PSVR headset, but maybe they could come out with glasses, both clear and prescription, that include eye tracking and somehow wirelessly communicate with your existing PSVR headset. Okay, look, I know that's a stretch. It is a tremendous stretch that would happen, but that's what they said here. That's what they had said here at Upload VR. They said, we can think of several reasons. Perhaps, for example, these glasses could be used in tandem with the current PSVR headset, which doesn't feature eye tracking. PSVR is home to great experiences, but it's no secret that the PS4 that powers it pales in comparison to PCs running the Rift and the Vive. Implementing foveated rendering into the current setup could really give PlayStation VR a major boost. Okay? Yeah, that's possible. That is possible. And then the other option here is, or perhaps it's simply that using these glasses disrupts an eye tracking sensor that is already embedded in the next generation PlayStation VR 2. And I gotta say, you know what? That makes more sense to me. Okay, that makes a lot more sense to me. I seriously doubt you're going to be able to buy some external glasses that you're going to use with eye tracking on our current generation PlayStation VRs. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I could possibly imagine that maybe one of the things they did in the design of PlayStation VR 2, it's got eye tracking, it's got foveated rendering, they're doing a lot of incredible things, but one of the biggest downsides they've found is that if somebody wears glasses, it F's it all up. It screws up the entire thing. And maybe foveated rendering and eye tracking is such a crucial factor in PlayStation VR 2 that they are going to make prescription available versions of regular glasses that include the eye tracking technology in them that then communicates to the headset somehow. It still sounds kind of crazy. It still sounds pretty freaking crazy. But what else are they doing here? They're doing something with this. Like, what else could it be? So, I guess that's question of the day number 2. What the hell is Sony doing with this? Prescription glasses with eye tracking. When I first thought about it, I thought, well, maybe these new glasses, maybe these are the VR headset. Like mind blown, bro. Maybe there's like a little thing that you put in your pocket and it wirelessly like beams the information, and the glasses have like screens built into them. That's like 10 years away. So, but you know what? Maybe they're trying to lock their patents down now. Who knows? When it comes to patents, it could be for all kinds of things that are more far-term, long-distance type stuff. Okay, let's see what some of you guys are saying in chat in regards to the patent here. Controller Brain says, that was a great podcast. I'm not sure if he was talking about F Reality there or if he's talking about Virtual Strangers, but they were both great podcasts. So you should probably try both of them. Recycled says Roots, which I've been calling him Ruts for about 10 years now. Roots needs to scoot closer to the camera. Yeah, I didn't see the video version of it. I was just listening to the audio, but at least they fixed the blurriness thing from episode 1. There was like some weird blur that was going on in their very first episode, so they did fix that. Gamer Casual says, oh, they're prescription glasses for VR. Tezram says, I'm late to the party. Has he talked about Boneworks? No, you know what? I haven't talked about Boneworks, and honestly, I'll probably be talking about Boneworks on a future episode because, you know what? I listened to the audio of that entire Boneworks video while I was at work. The Virtual Strangers podcast ended, and I still had time left, and I was like, I'll listen to the Boneworks audio. I won't be able to see the video as I'm listening to it, so I'm going to miss a lot of the subtleties of it, but at least I'll hear what they're talking about. And I did do that, but I really need to watch the entire video. We did have that video running on yesterday's program when I was interviewing Chris Richardson, but obviously I was very into the interview with Chris Richardson, so I didn't really pay attention. Boneworks does look incredible. I mean, they're doing a lot of incredible things. I do want to caution people, though, because Boneworks does seem to be like all the rage out there with pretty much everybody out there. And the one thing I would caution people with is like developers don't go from becoming a solid developer to all of a sudden being the next Naughty Dog. Like, that doesn't happen overnight. Okay, so what have we gotten from Stress Level Zero? We've gotten Hover Junkers and we've gotten Duck Season. And both games are good. Like, both games are legitimately good, but they didn't just magically transform into Naughty Dog or freaking Rockstar North overnight. Okay, so I mean, yeah, this Boneworks stuff, like, I can throw on this trailer right now, like that looks batshit insane. Like, this slow motion stuff, like the sound of the gun, all the shells, like all the little sound effects and everything, incredible. Like, everything about this seems and sounds incredible, and everything they were talking about, like all the different ways you can approach different problems, how you're holding on to things and things are moving around. I mean, it looks next level. It looks incredibly next level. But again, these are the same guys that made Hover Junkers. These are the same guys that made Duck Season. Now, maybe, well, no, we know how long they've been working on Boneworks. I was just going to say, maybe they've been working on Boneworks for like 5 years in secret, and they kind of, Hover Junkers was something they put out to make some money. Duck Season was something they put out to make some money, but maybe they've been working on this for 5 years. But no, I think we know when they started working on this, because we got a video when they were talking about starting to work on this. And look, I'm as hyped as on Boneworks as everybody else. But of course, this video, they're going to cut and slice it and dice it to give you the most attractive segments of it. It's easily one of my top 5 most wanted games. It's probably in my top 3, to be completely honest. I mean, it's up there. No Man's Sky, Stormland. Actually, you know what? You want to talk about question of the day. I think question of the day is, what individual VR game are you most looking forward to over all others? There can only be one. There can only be one. Is it Stormland? If it's Stormland, then you're basically shitting all over No Man's Sky and Boneworks. If it's Boneworks, you're shitting all over No Man's Sky and Stormland. If it's No Man's Sky, you're shitting all over Stormland and Boneworks. But you can only choose one. Or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's Asgard's Wrath. Maybe it's Vader Immortal. Maybe it's Population 1. Maybe it's Firmament. And, speaking of Firmament, I think it was on the Vibe subreddit, we need to help Firmament pass its Kickstarter goal. I think somebody was talking about that. But what is is Boneworks, is this it? Is this your most wanted game? I mean, it looks awesome. It looks incredibly cool. Of course, absolutely I want to play this. But I think sometimes people go a little bit overboard with stuff like this. But yeah, I mean, I'm as hyped as anybody else. But I want to watch this entire thing and, really be able to just kick back, relax, watch this entire thing. And what I might do, I don't know if there's stuff in here where I would need to do that, but maybe cut some clips out of that and we can kind of discuss some of the stuff that was shown here and maybe do that on I really like how he's shaking that thing and like the arms are like wobbling around in a really cool way. And it's kind of like this Inception thing. Like, the whole story of Boneworks is really cool. That's one of the things I kind of heard about. You're basically a developer that is making a VR game, and there's a problem with your VR game, and you're like going inside your own VR game into like the operating system of your VR game, and you're trying to like fix things. But there's like an AI that is also in there, and like the AI, we got to assume the AI is going psycho, and the AI basically wants to F with you. And so you got to deal with this AI. But it's, the physics is really the draw here, and the integration with the Knuckles control, or no, the Valve Index controllers, brah. We got to call them the Valve Index controllers, brah. That integration, using your hands and the way the crowbar is kind of flopping around and using the crowbar for the different things, putting it in that door there as like a lock. You know what? Here we are. Here's the Boneworks discussion. It's happening live right now. Yeah, I did not prepare for this, but here it is. This is the Boneworks discussion, so I guess we're having it right now. But yeah, the way the physics is pretty freaking incredible in this thing. So yeah, it looks really good. But yeah, I'm super curious to you guys. Okay, Recycled says Portal VR. That's cheating. Sponge 720 says GTA VR. You're cheating. Okay, here's the technicality. It's got to be a known commodity. It's got to be a known commodity. You need an actual, it has to be a name. The game you could say Unseen Diplomacy 2. Unseen Diplomacy 2 is a known commodity. We don't have a single screenshot for it, but it's a known commodity. You can say The Climb on Oculus Quest. We don't have a single screenshot for The Climb on Oculus Quest, but it's a known commodity. But you cannot say Grand Theft Auto VR. You can't say Portal VR. You can't say anything Valve VR. They're not known quantities. So don't cheat. Pick one. You got to pick a real game. You got to pick a game that is actually known. Let's see what some people are picking here. JPay says Boneworks is hopefully the structure of Half-Life 3, Left 4 Dead 3, Portal 3, etc., etc. Well, yeah, they're creating a foundational skeleton that they probably are hoping to license this technology to a lot of other developers. Because think, if you were going to develop a VR game and you have all the physics and kind of some of the shit that's worked out, that they've worked out in here, and then you're just building your game with your own assets, but you're using kind of all of this underlying technology, this skeleton framework, yeah, that would be awesome. Because think what people could do with something like this if they had this kind of a framework to work with. Gerillo says, but I think Boneworks is more of an engine. I would be surprised if Gabe hasn't seen it. There is probably Valve Men in Black on the way to stress level 0. Good one. Yeah, the Men in Black. The Men in Black are real, brah. And they're on their way. Well, Valve is really cool with these guys, the way I understand it. Some people believe this is Half-Life. Some people believe we're actually seeing Half-Life. They're just not saying it. Stress level 0 is making Half-Life. People have actually said that, if you can believe it. And Roy Schwartz says Falcon Age makes me want Star Child even more now. Hey, Star Child, when's the last time we've heard that name? We heard that it was canceled at one point, and then the CEO of Playful, right? Yeah, Playful, the makers of Lucky's Tale, he came out and said, no, this game is not canceled. Don't trip. This game is not canceled. Star Child still exists, but we haven't heard anything since then. And it's been a while, so we should probably get some information about Star Child pretty soon. Let's see. Gerillo says, there is a crowbar. There is enemies that look like head crabs. Everything is orange. I know. That's exactly what I'm saying here. This is Half-Life 3, brah. We're seeing Half-Life 3 right here. This is Half-Life 3. This is the ultimate troll. Half-Life 3 is right in front of our faces and we just didn't know it yet. I don't think so, but it's certainly interesting because, think of just the graphical aesthetic of everything in this game. It is so very much Half-Life and Valve and Portal and all of that. It just really has a lot of that flavor that if Valve wasn't down with this, you would think this would kind of piss them off. So I got to imagine that Valve is fully down with this in some kind of way. Now, one thing I do think is kind of weird, if I was to say anything negative whatsoever about Boneworks, the one negative thing I would say, just looking at this footage here, is does anybody else feel like your arm is about 9 inches extra long? I feel like when they have their arms out there like that, like their arms are like zzz, like their arm like they gave you like an extra 9 inches of arm at the end of your arm. But yeah, they're showing you the shadows there. Look at what your shadows can do, brah. Look at what your shadows can do. Yeah, I love proper shadows in VR. I love sunlight in VR. I love shadows in VR because see, shadows are the kind of thing that F with your like subconscious mind and like your brain and stuff. And it's like, whoa, these shadows are like shadows in real life, brah. So I am in real life. I think shadows really help with that in a major, major way. But yeah, let's see what else folks are saying. Okay, Flim said Portal VR. Once again, we got to have you guys actually make a legitimate selection here. Christian Jensen has a legitimate selection. He says Boneworks until I know more about Valve's in-house titles. So Boneworks is his choice. Christopher Hart makes a legitimate selection. Iron Man VR. Maybe those gifts were all the difference in the world. Christopher Hart, were you saying Iron Man VR after that original trailer, or is it the gifts and the information we've heard from people that have had hands-on time with Iron Man VR that have changed your opinion of it? Or were you down from Jump Street? Like, did you hear Iron Man VR? That's all you needed to know? The trailer was fine, maybe not the best in the world, but you were still down with it? Or is it the information that has come after that? And Punk Zero says, only one? I'm not playing your evil game. Exactly. You've got to choose among your favored children. What is your favorite child? That's basically what this boils down to. Because like I said, if you pick No Man's Sky, you're shitting all over Boneworks and Stormland. Are you going to tell Insomniac and Stress Level Zero that you just shat all over them? Because that's what you're doing. And if you pick Boneworks, you're shitting all over Insomniac and Hello Games. So are you going to tell them that you just shat all over them? You've got to pick one. It's difficult. That's what it's all about. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Everything Valve, Flim, again. Make a decision here. Okay, let me scroll down. We're getting down. Okay. Oh, Jarillo says Defector. Whoa, Defector. Defector has kind of slipped into the abyss a little bit. Like, we haven't heard much about Defector in a long time. What is going on with Defector, honestly? Is anybody a little bit worried about Defector? Because Defector was supposed to be, well, I had always kind of thought that Defector was like a fourth quarter 2018 game. It obviously didn't make the fourth quarter of 2018. The first quarter of 2019 has come and disappeared. And we still don't have a release date for Defector. It's kind of weird. It's kind of legitimately weird what is going on with Defector. Maybe it'll come out the day the Oculus Rift S comes out, possibly. Hussein X says Stormland, #1 for me. And you know what? It's hard to argue with that, man. Especially because I've played Stormland for 10 glorious minutes. I've never played Boneworks. And I've never played No Man's Sky in VR, but I did play Stormland. I keep putting an S on it too. But yeah, Stormland, I played it. I looked at my arms and I was like, holy moly. I was looking at my arms. It was so incredible. Controller Brain says Defector is dead. I don't think it's dead. And Jarillo says Twisted Pixel knows what they're doing. Also, did you guys know that Twisted Pixel, so they made Wilson's Heart. They're making Defector. They're also working on a Quest game. So it's kind of nice that you've got a really high-end developer like Twisted Pixel that's working on a dedicated Oculus Quest game. That is good. Phil Yearn says Valve games all the way. Again, you're cheating. JPay says, okay, gun to my head, Stormland. Yeah, I'm putting a gun to your head. That's what I'm doing here. That's what this is all about. Rendered Reality says Boneworks looks so good. I hope it lives up to the hype. Yeah, Jarillo says, I'm probably the only one with Defector in #1, if not #2 now. You know what? Let me tell you something, Jarillo. I honestly think I'm more hyped for Blood and Truth than I am Defector. Now, is that blasphemy? I'm more excited for a PlayStation VR game, Blood and Truth by London Studio, than I am for Defector. Is that blasphemy? I'm still excited for Defector. I'm still excited for Defector, but I think Blood and Truth is the better Defector. I think like when I saw Defector, I was like, yeah, it kind of reminds me of London Heist a little bit. It's kind of like James Bond 007 type of thing. But yeah, I'm kind of more of a London Heist guy. I mean, more of Blood and Truth. Okay, so we just talked about a lot of nonsense there for about 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and get into something else. One thing we can talk about, we usually do this on a daily basis, although it's been spotty at best recently. And that is our daily deal, the deal of the day. And here it is. Our daily deal is Onward. You can grab it off the Oculus Store for 15 bones. 15 bones. I keep spitting. Apologies for that. I think I need some more water is what I need. But it's 40% off. Normal price is $25. Dropping down to 15. So you basically get an extra 10 spot. And you know what? With that extra 10 spot that you get, you know what you can do? You can send it my way, baby. Send it my way via PayPal, because I guarantee you the $10 will go to one of 4 glorious VR headsets. The Oculus Lenovo, the Oculus Rift S, the Oculus Quest, the HP Reverb, and the Valve Index. I absolutely guarantee anybody that donates $10 today, I absolutely guarantee that those $10 will not go to hookers and blow. It will go to the HP Reverb, the Valve Index, the Rift S, or the Oculus Quest. It'll go into my kitty for all of those beautiful things. And another thing also, the new graphics card. I got a 1080 Ti, but let's face it, guys, the Reverb is going to shit all over that 1080 Ti. So I'm going to need a new graphics card too. And so your $10, save $10 from Onward, shuffle it my way. It's a beautiful thing. Onward is a great game. It really is, but damn, it's kind of expensive. For some reason, I was thinking Onward was like $9.99, but no, that's Pavlov, right? Pavlov is the one that's $9.99, and then every once in a while it goes on sale for like $6. Onward is a little more expensive, 25 bones. It's on sale now for 15. You can see there's a little bit over 7 hours that are left. The other beautiful advantage, and this is something that people were talking about on a number of different podcasts, and in fact, I think maybe they mentioned this on F Reality, and I'm pretty sure they mentioned this on Virtual Strangers, and you could almost get into an entire show about this topic. Yeah, there's a hookers. If you want your money to go to hookers and blow, all you have to do is in your PayPal donation, they give you a little area to like put a special message and just say, this is for hookers and blow only. Do not spend it on anything else. And then the next time I'm in Vegas, and I gotta document it. I have to document where every penny is gone. So I will have to show you what happened. So hookers and blow, if you want to set it aside for that, perfectly understandable. Perfectly understandable if you want to do that. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the topic is what people were talking about. And here's another question of the day. So why don't we go ahead and go back to our standard scene. Let me go ahead and grab my little question of the day graphic. Here's a bonus question, guys. And we've brought this question up before, but it is such an interesting question. It really is. If you are somebody that plans on getting an Oculus Quest in the future, subconsciously, you're going to start thinking about where you buy your games. It's such a marvelous little trick. It's such a marvelous little trick. It really is. Because here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Here's Onward. If you buy that on the Oculus Store, if they end up making a mobile version of Onward that runs on the Quest, you might get it for free. You might get it for free. And so now there's this weird thing that people are going to have to deal with whenever they're thinking about buying a game. In fact, I was listening today to Virtual Strangers, and Main Fan is on the show. Lethal Weasel VR is on the show. A_Gilling, Alex is on there. And Roots is on there. And so, and they were talking about this, and one of the things they were talking about is like Vacation Simulator. Like if you bought Vacation Simulator in the Oculus store, you got like a 95% chance you're going to get the free version of that on Oculus Quest as well. Now, I Am Roots was like, but the last thing I'm ever going to want to do is play the same effing game on a Snapdragon 835. Like, why would I want to do that? And that's a great point. That is a wonderful point, and it's an understandable point. But we have to remember, others. There's others, like we have other people in our family. We have kids, we have nephews. Think about where you're going to be taking the Oculus Quest. The Oculus Quest is not only an incredible standalone VR gaming system that you should love and cherish, but it's actually a beautiful evangelistic kind of a device that you can help spread the love of VR around the world. So when you buy an Oculus Quest, if you keep it in your house and you never take it to other people's houses, you're doing the entire VR gaming industry a disservice. The Oculus Quest is a beautiful thing. You take it places. Is your mom or your grandmother at a senior facility? Take your Oculus Quest there. Bring it there. Have all those seniors, do some freaking Dance Central and some Beat Saber. Let them play some Vader Immortal. Take your Oculus Quest to different places. Take it to birthday parties. Take it to the Christmas ball, whatever. Take it places and spread the good word about virtual reality. And so, like, buying games in the Oculus store, if you might get that free Quest version as well, it's kind of that extra little bonus. And it's going to get into the little recesses way back in your brain that's going to think, shit, I always buy my games on Steam. But now I've got this little weird thing going on because I own a Quest now. And I'm thinking, damn it, they got me, this goddamn cross-buy. It is absolute genius. And, it behooves Oculus to come up with a way to actually give some kind of incentive to developers to all developers should do this cross-buy thing, because you know what? Oh my God, does it benefit Oculus from a psychological standpoint? Because I'm telling you, all these little stores that we're involved in, if you have a PlayStation and you're buying stuff on PlayStation 4, if you buy stuff in Steam, Nintendo, whatever, all these little online stores, the more games that you buy in there, the more they got a subconscious hook that is inside your cerebral cortex, or it's up in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. And when you start thinking, damn it, should I buy this on Steam? Should I buy this on the Oculus store? Then you think, oh, well, you know what? If I buy it on the Oculus store, you're looking to buy Population 1, right? Okay, do I buy Population 1 on Steam, or do I buy it on the Oculus store? Oh, I do have a Quest. Gee, if Population 1 ever comes to the Quest, I'd get it for free. Okay, Population 1, probably a bad example, because that's probably not coming to the Quest. But other simpler games with simpler art styles, it is a definite question. Like, it's gonna mess with me. This question is gonna mess with me. So I know it's gonna mess with y'all, because I am about as no, I'm just kidding. I am about as platform agnostic as they get. And if it's gonna mess with me, I know it's gonna mess with y'all. But yeah, that's Onward is our daily deal. Okay, yeah, we've been all over the map today. This is what you do when you don't have actual topics. You can just like go off in any old direction. Okay, let's see what people are talking about. What people are talking about in chat. Flim says, "Amen, preach it, brother." And then Rendered Reality says, "I need verification." Oh, talking about. Oh yeah, that is my PayPal link. Yeah. Okay, so let me explain to you. Tap dat as. I'll go ahead and, because if anybody sends a PayPal donation to me, it's going to go to tap.as1. And let me explain this, because, oh my God, so many people think this is like some weird sexual thing. It is not a sexual thing. Let me explain my old email. I have an email called tap.as1 at yahoo.com, right? This is my old, I shouldn't have just said that live. What the hell did I just do? But anyway, I have this old email that I've used forever. And it started when I was in a fantasy football league, okay? And see, here in California, Like, if you grew up in the streets, brah, like if you were in the streets, like I was, you would learn different phrases. And in the streets, one of the things they would say is like, you would be playing John Madden football against somebody, right? No, seriously. Like, this is back in the 90s. You'd be playing John Madden football against somebody, and they would be like, yeah, let's play for $5. Let's play for $5. And I'll be like, yeah, let's play for $5. I'm going to tap that ass, fool. I'm going to tap that ass. That's what you would say. And what it meant was probably not a good name. Yeah, no, that name has come back to haunt me so bad. Probably not a good name. Yeah. But that's what it was for. Is like, I would, like, if you were playing somebody basketball, you know, at your park, right? You're playing basketball. You're going to play somebody one-on-one. You're like, yeah, man, let's play basketball. Be like, dude, I will tap that ass, bro. I'm going to kill you. It basically means I'm going to beat you really bad. It doesn't mean I'm going to sexually assault you. Okay, I know there is that other connotation on it, and that's not the connotation I'm talking about. I'm talking about a different kind of a connotation where it basically means I'm going to beat you really badly. And that's the way I used it. And see, in my fantasy football league, my team name was Tap Dat As, A-Z-Z. And it was basically like, if you play me, I am going to tap you really, really good. In other words, I'm going to beat you really, really badly. I can't believe I'm having this discussion on a freaking live stream on YouTube. God damn it, I should have changed that email. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay, anyways, let's move on. Let's moveon.com, moveon.org. Okay, so what we can do now is we can go ahead and check out some of the news stories as I get to start sweating a little bit more. It's hot in here, but also tap that ass. I didn't know we'd be talking about that live. Why didn't I change that? Dummy, dummy, dummy. I'm going to take a quick sip here. Okay, so let's go to the Webby browser, and this is Upload VR. This is one of our favorite websites out there, or maybe you absolutely hate their guts, but unfortunately, we are not exactly swimming in VR websites. We pretty much have two primary major VR websites, and maybe if about 15 people decided to come work for me for free at vrgamerankings.com, we could have 3 incredible VR websites. But right now we have 2. Upload VR and Road to VR. And so we pretty much have to deal with these guys, good, bad, or ugly. And the number one story is DCS World Update delivers 50% increase in VR performance. And you know what? I think MRTV, I think our boy Sebastian over there at MRTV, I think he did a brand new video talking about this improvement that came to DCS World. Now, I'm not this guy. I am not the simulator guy, okay? I don't like stuff that is highly, highly realistic where you got to look at 28 little different dials and you got to check your freaking check engine light and all that shit. No. I like to get into a game where you just look at something, you shoot it, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm not into these sims so much. They're a little bit too complicated for me. I don't want to learn like an entirely new language to play a video game, so I don't quite get into it too much. Nintendo Labo VR is getting Best Buy demos this weekend. Oh, that is actually pretty cool news because I want to see this. I'm going to Best Buy. I am going to go to Best Buy. So Best Buy will be holding in-store hands-on demo with the Nintendo Labo VR this Sunday, April 14th. The company will hold the demos from 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. You can book a slot at participating stores through this website. Awesome. I'm going to try to get a demo because I just want to stick my head inside the damn thing. You know, I just want to stick my head in. Okay, so you can select your state, select your location, and you can try to sign up for a demo. In select stores, Sunday, April 14th, 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., Nintendo Labo, brah. I don't know what exactly you're going to be able to demo. I mean, I doubt you're going to be able to demo like freaking Breath of the Wild VR. You'll probably be demoing one of these, like one of the crappy mini games. But the bottom line is you'll get to see what it actually looks like in terms of like the lenses and that type of thing. So you kind of get an idea. See, I don't own a Nintendo Switch. I do not own a Nintendo Switch. It is a what do they call it? It's a blind side for me. It's a dark space. I don't have. I was trying to find my Nintendo Labo video somewhere here. Let's see if I can find it. But yeah, I don't own a Nintendo Switch, and I got to admit, because I'm going to be throwing so much damn money at like Valve Index and HP Reverb and freaking Oculus Rift S and all these damn headsets that are coming out of the woodwork, I don't know that I've got the money to be throwing at any kind of a Nintendo Switch. I don't think I got to pick my battles, right? I can't throw money everywhere. So I don't think I'm going to be buying any Nintendo Switch, but I'm going to try to find somebody that has it. This does look cool. And the one thing I'll say, like, you see this video here, you see all the different games that they show here. There's some pretty cool stuff. I mean, there's some interesting stuff like that underwater sea thing where you're like kind of Pokemon Snap. You're like taking pictures of little fishies that are underwater. Like, that looks pretty cool. Also, I don't really want to go through this entire process of putting all the cardboard together. So the nice, like this part, I want to see this. I want to see these fishies swim around underwater, because underwater in VR always looks good. And so that should probably look good. But yeah, I'm very curious, like, am I going to get a splitting headache after I use it for 5 minutes? You know, there's a lot of questions that come with Nintendo Labo VR. So if you've been very curious in this, maybe go ahead, jump over there to Best Buy this Sunday, but you probably want to go to that website. You want to probably try to book it, because you don't want to just show up randomly, because I guess they're only going to, I mean, they're not giving you a very big window. It's 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. That is not a very big window. So if you want to actually see this thing, you're going to have to get you're going to have to lock in a little demo time there. But yeah, I'm going to look into that. I got to remember, hopefully I remember to do it right after this show. But that's actually pretty cool. I did not know that. That is news to me. So, yeah, that's Nintendo Labo. Let's see here. Any other news going on? Well, we can go ahead and switch back over here to our web browser here. And yeah, this is what a lot of people are talking about around the internet. Boneworks, the hype is real. The hype is definitely real. Boneworks feels like the first next generation VR game. Man, stress level 0. These guys must just be walking on clouds right now. They must just feel so freaking good, because you know what? I think they mentioned in their video, that Boneworks is like the 41st, it's like number 41 of the most wish list games, period. And the number 1 most wish list VR game. But they're 41 among all games. That's how much Boneworks is in the, it's in the ether out there. Like, everybody's talking about Boneworks. Everybody's thinking about Boneworks. Okay, so let's go to Road to VR. Let me just go ahead and give this a quick refresh. Really? Okay. Let's see. AT&T and Magic Leap partnership is all about 5G, while selling a $2,300 headset without it. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's what's going on here. So the 5G thing, I mean, I've talked about 5G a number of times. I don't want to get too involved in 5G, but it's the only way this makes any sense whatsoever for AT&T. Because for a company like AT&T, they want people to feel like they really need 5G. And if Magic Leap, with their spatial OS and with doing just some really next level shit with 5G, it could be an incredible thing. Now, AT&T does have a partnership with Magic Leap. In fact, in Florida, at Magic Leap's campus, like, AT&T has set up a special, it's almost like they've created a miniature city that has legit 5G right there, so that all the Magic Leap people can start figuring out how they're going to do this for Magic Leap 2, TWO, Magic Leap 2. And so Magic Leap 2 supposedly is actually going to have a 5G modem in the headset itself. So if you are scared of cancers, you want to stay far as hell away from the AT&T Magic Leap 2 5G thing, because cancer's for everybody, because there's going to be all kinds of wireless signals swirling all over the damn place. So this is what AT&T had to say in their quote. Our journey with Magic Leap to transform industry and consumer experiences starts today with the launch of the Magic Leap 1, only available from AT&T. Really? So you can't order it from Magic Leap's website? That's kind of weird. Or is it only physically available from AT&T? Because that sounds kind of bizarre. Said John Donovan, CEO, AT&T Communications. Together with Magic Leap, we're making the future of education, telemedicine, sports, entertainment, and everyday experiences extraordinary. But there's so much more creativity ahead, brah. 5G will help drive the next generation of spatial computing that will deliver immersive, interactive content everywhere. Okay, another bonus question of the day. When are you going to be sick of spatial computing? Because that's something you're going to hear over and over and over again. If you thought freaking blockchain, if you were sick of blockchain, if you hated neural networks, if you detested deep learning and machine learning, get ready for spatial computing, because you're going to hear spatial computing everywhere. Oh man, spatial computing. I am going to get sick of that very quickly. But yeah, the central message is clear. 5G is the key to realizing Magic Leap's vision, one where spatial computing, again, is part of our everyday lives. But the headset that's now being sold in some AT&T stores doesn't actually have any 5G hardware at all, which really convolutes the story the companies are spinning. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like all these little 5G experiments are like, they don't even have like real 5G. It's like simulated 5G, 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 5G. I was actually aboard the 5G train for a very brief minute. And then now I'm kind of like 5G'd out. I'm kind of sick of 5G. I've kind of turned, remember I did a show and I had a topic where I said I've turned the corner on 5G. I basically changed my mind about 5G. Now I'm sick of 5G. Okay, Firmament, I heard some talk about this, that maybe the Kickstarter is in trouble a little bit. Okay, so this is an update. This was updated today, April 8th, 2019. With a little less than 3 weeks to go before the All or Nothing crowdfunding campaign comes to an end, support for Firmament seems to have stalled somewhat on its quest to reach $1.3 million end goal. Currently, the campaign is sitting around the $600,000 mark and has 18 days until the bell tolls, which will take place on April 27th. We're wishing Scion lots of luck moving forward as they strive to drum up further support for another highly polished atmospheric VR puzzler. Okay, let's go live to the Kickstarter campaign and let's see what's going on, brah. You know, it's weird because, well, they're up to 622K right now. So they're about halfway there. And, you know, it's moving up right now as we're looking at it. Man, I wish my freaking Patreon looked like that. No, I'm just kidding. But could you imagine if I had 7,830 backers on my Patreon? Like an extra 9 backers for every subscriber I got right now? That wouldn't work, would it? Okay, but they've got 623K, but they've got a very big goal. This is all or nothing. This project will only be funded if it reaches its goal, and they've only got till April 26. The game looks beautiful. You know, I kind of feel like this game is going to be worked on any goddamn way. So you know what's going to happen here, guys? Would it be illegal? My question for you Kickstarter guys out there, for you Kickstarter lawyers, would it be illegal for somebody related to Cyan to freaking back this with a $500,000 backing just to get it to that 1 point? Like, is that illegal or is that legal? Can they legally do that? Like, can the CEO, like that one main guy that was talking, you know, the main guy that was talking on the video, like, could he just go into his bank and withdraw freaking 600 grand and just like at the last minute throw it at this so it meets the $1.285 million goal? Because if that's legal, they're going to do that. They are going to do that because they've already been working on this. You know, I mean, they kind of did a vertical slice at first, but these guys want to work on this. They seem to be really into VR. and they're working on this. So I don't know. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if I don't know what the legal. Can you get your cousin to do it? You know, if like you can't do it, like they probably have stipulations that, you know, if you're involved in a Kickstarter, you're not allowed to. You know, there might be little stipulations that are involved in this, but could you get like your wife's second cousin removed to do it? Somebody's got to do it. But this looks really good. I like these kind of games. I love being transported to a magical world. I like exploring things. I like puzzles. I like the detail. Okay, Rand Miller, that's the guy right there. That's the CEO and co-founder. You're telling me he doesn't have $600K in his back pocket? Because I'm telling you he does. Okay, Gamer Casual, let's get my chat popped out in the right spot here. Gamer Casual says, pretty sure the devs can put their own money towards a Kickstarter. Yes, then it's a done deal. It's a done deal. They are not walking away from that 600 grand. This is a done deal, guys. There's no need to worry here. If that's true, this is a done deal. This Kickstarter is going through. It's locked in. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. But Gamer Casual says he's seen it in the past, so maybe it's not against the rules to do that. Hussein X says, there's enough games for me to play right now that I sadly won't kickstart. No idea about that. Mist was never a flat. Oh, I was never a flat gamer. Good luck to them. Yeah, no, I'm not telling anybody to kickstart this. I'm not telling anybody to kickstart. I've only kickstarted one thing in my entire life. It was Night Trap. It was like Night Trap. You know the old Sega CD game, Night Trap? They did a Kickstarter where they were going to do a major enhancement to Night Trap and take it up to like DVD quality and better sound and all of that. And I did do the Kickstarter. I pledged like $20 or whatever it was, but I got my money back because they didn't meet their Kickstarter and everybody got refunded their money. And then, so it didn't happen, but Night Trap happened anyway. Like Night Trap is out there, but now I don't care about flat anymore. So now I need Night Trap VR. But yeah, so that is the Kickstarter. All right, guys. Well, I need to get out of Dodge. I've got an appointment that I got to make, and we're past the 1 hour mark anyway. I was hoping to maybe hit up some of the subreddits and get into some other topics, but that's going to have to wait for tomorrow. So let me go ahead and, well, you know what? Let's thank one more Patreon supporter on our way out of here, because I got a lot of Patreon supporters to thank. Earlier today, we thanked our boy John. There it is, our boy John. Thank you so much for your Patreon support. Seriously, like no joke, super, super thankful for that. This type of support means the world to me. I'm banging this show out every single day, and support like this gives me that extra incentive to keep on trucking. I mean, I'm going to keep on trucking anyway, but like Patreon support, PayPal support, it makes it harder for me to ever think about quitting. So that is really huge. So much love to John. And then also, I wanted to thank one more Patreon supporter before we bounce out of here, and that is Anthony Mann. So thank you so much, Anthony Mann. Thank you so much for your Patreon support. I truly appreciate it. Absolutely incredible. Awesome. Yeah, guys, remember, subscribe to the show. Go ahead, like the video. Hit the little bell thing, you know, all those little doodads. Go ahead and do that. It really helps. Also, if you know anybody that is a VR nutcase and they might not know about VR 365, and they should know about VR 365. But it might be a show that they might like. For example, like Virtual Strangers. I guarantee you tons of people are not aware of Virtual Strangers, and they'd probably really like that show. That's why I kind of want to go out of my way to like make people aware of that as well. But yeah, that's going to go ahead and do it for today's episode. I definitely appreciate everybody tuning in and participating in chat and all of those sorts of things. But that is going to do it for our Monday episode. I will be back tomorrow, Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel, 4 p.m. Wednesday, we're having a special show, guys, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and I am going to have a special guest, Arrowin X. Remember Arrowin X? He was all over the Vive subreddit in the very, very, very early days of the HTC Vive. And he is a Skyrim nutcase with like 500 mods running on Skyrim VR. He knows all about these VR headsets. He's been in VR hardcore, not so much on the gaming side because he's pretty much just been all Sariento and all Skyrim all the time. But I'm going to have a special interview with Erwin X this Wednesday evening. It's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, so it's going to be the late show. But we're going to talk to Erwin X. We're going to talk to him about his history with the HTC Vive. Also, kind of about the Vive subreddit. He freaking bailed off of the Vive subreddit, got sick of it, bailed. We might ask him about that a little bit. We'll talk to him about Sariento VR. He put hundreds of hours into that. And Skyrim VR, he's pretty much lost in Skyrim VR. Like, dude basically lives in Skyrim VR, but we're also going to be talking to him about the Valve Index, about HP Reverb, about Oculus, about PlayStation VR. I don't think he's a big fan of PlayStation VR, but we'll talk about him. Yeah, Justin Koth. Absolutely, Erwin X. So he will be on this show on Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome. So look forward to that on Wednesday, but it will be a nighttime episode. Alrighty, guys, I got to bounce the hell out of Dodge. I will see everybody tomorrow. Have a wonderful Monday. Remember Falcon Age, Vacation Simulator, both of them are coming out tomorrow. I will have plenty of thoughts about Vacation Simulator on tomorrow's episode, so definitely stay tuned for that. Tune in for that tomorrow. All right, anyways, take it easy. Later.